And let's start at the beginning. Before you joined the Army, what did you do?
I was in high school, and I was 18 in March and got a deferment to finish school, and in June I was in the Army. So I graduated and home a week and a half, and I was in the Army.
Now, where did you go through your basic training?
Basic training, Fort Benjamin Harrison, and Indiana, and I didn't know what it meant, but I was AWOL the first day. We went to the barracks. Nobody knows anybody. We had chow in the evening. Came back to the barracks. Everybody sitting around looking at each other. I got up and walked out and saw a soldier marching by, and I said, "Is there a movie around here someplace?" And he says, "Yeah, 2 blocks down." So I went to show. I didn't know what. I got back about 11 o'clock at night, and there's a fellow sitting on my bunk and says, "I'm sure glad, blah, 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 you're here. Now I can go to sleep." But that guy in that room there said, "No matter what time you come in, he wants to see you." So I knocked on that door, and a growl came out. Said, "Get your ass in here." So I went in. He said, "You're AWOL?" I said, "What?" He says, "You're AWOL." I said, I don't know what AWOL is. What are you talking about? He said, "You're absent without leave." I said, "No, I'm here." He says, "You weren't here for roll call after chow." I said, "Well, you're going on duty." So the morning after, I went on duty and told to go to the orderly room. I didn't know what an orderly room was. He said, "Those offices over there." So I went in, and there's a fellow sitting at the desk. I walked in, and I got Dickens because I didn't knock on the door. And the fellow was a captain, but I didn't know captain from anybody. And he said, "You're AWOL, you're going to be on duty. And I want you to clean these." There were 4 offices there. "I want them to be spotless." They even gave me a toothbrush to clean around the molding. So I cleaned up the places, and I'm doing windows. And I went outside and did the windows. I came in to see the windows were clean. And all those fellows that didn't go AWOL were marching with picks and shovels, and they were going to be digging footings for new barracks. So I went outside, and I swear to God, I spit on the windows and threw dirt on them. And when that captain walked in and saw those windows, I got another week of heavy duty cleaning up. Cleaning off. So that was my first day in this first week in the service.
Wow.
Young kid, didn't know anything. Yeah. And went for basic Fort McClellan, Alabama. That was a great place. And joined the 12th Armored at Barclay. Because went to ASTP to Texas A&M, and then when that program broke up, went into Camp Barclay. I don't remember too much about the trip across, but everybody was sick, I guess, but me. And I would go and tell fellas all the chow I ate, the pork chop and all, and then they started heaving again and said, "Get out of here." So I had an easy trip, and I've done 25 cruises since with all kind of stuff. First combat experience, yeah. Well, there were quite a few, but the one I remember the most was outside of Hurlesheim, where Sergeant Polio, Corporal Fitch, Brown, Dean, and I were out on patrol, and we were supposed to meet up with the French patrol off to our south. and we saw a lot of activity in one area, and polio thought it was the French, so we started out, and all hell broke loose, and we must have crawled. There was a frozen stream, luckily, and we hit the frozen stream, and we must have crawled 300 yards under fire, and nobody got hit. And about the last 60, 70 yards, I got a pain in my side, and I couldn't move. And so Brown and Fitch, I said, crawl over me because I can't move. And Dean stayed behind. And he says, what's the matter? And I said, I don't know, but my side is killing me. And I said, crawl over and get out of here. And he said, no. And I said, well, I'm going to get up and run. He said, you're going to get cut in two. I said, well, I can't move, so I'm just going to rest here, and when I feel better. So he yelled, I said, I'm going. He yelled, good luck. And I took about 4 steps, and my ammo belt fell off. So I stopped and went back to pick it up, and where I would have been, the ground turned black because they had led me, and so why that ammo belt fell off, I don't know, but I made it back, and they said, what's the matter? I said, I don't know, but I hurt, but I wasn't hit, and I had a appendicitis, crazy. So I wound up in the hospital, but when I got there, they said, there's no pain now, but the tension is there. There was something there. So I was in hospital for a week, and I left and went back to my outfit. So I'm still able from that hospital, I guess. And then went back. We were outside of Hurlesheim, and it hit me again. And the first doctor, I forget his name, but he says, I sent you back for an operation, and you're here again. You come back another time, I'm going to court-martial you. And so I went back, and they operated. And so I had a appendicitis operation. That's about it. Colmar. We went into Colmar, and I guess we were the first American troops being Recon, and went down this street, and somebody started yelling, American, American. And I never saw so many colored bottles come out of windows on top, tied with strings and all. And I think there were 60 guys that were sort of inebriated after a while. And Captain Bartholomew put us all under guard in 3 houses. And the next day we went out on patrol. That's where we had our first casualty. One of the guys got hit with there were 3 airbursts came in. We were clearing the woods, got a lot of prisoners, and one of the pieces hit one of the guys. I don't know where I was at the war's end. I don't remember. I know we were guarding a brewery someplace, but that was a good place to be. And special buddies, I made a buddy of Norm Wanjan out of B Troop, and we get together at least 2 or 3 times a year, even till now, although he's not at the reunion because he's not doing as well as I'm doing. And German people, I've been back to Germany and Austria maybe 25 times, and got a lot of friends that 60 years ago I would have shot them, and now I hug them. So it's sort of crazy, isn't it? Been to weddings and funerals, and people have come to Indiana to visit me. And we're going back to Vienna again this November. And I guess that's about it.
Well, sir, I want to thank you for agreeing to sit down and talk to me, and thank you for your story.